If you've ever watched Doctor Strange manipulate reality with chaos magic, you might think you're seeing pure fantasy. But what if I told you that some of the earliest computer programmers believed they were doing something remarkably similar? In the 1970s and 80s, as personal computers were revolutionizing the world, a fascinating convergence was happening between occult practitioners and coding pioneers. And the results would shape how we think about technology today. Chaos magic emerged in England in the 1970s as a postmodern manifestation of occultism built on rejection of single systematized conventions. Unlike traditional magic systems, chaos magic was pragmatic. It focused on results rather than rigid traditions. Practitioners would use whatever symbols, rituals, or techniques worked, borrowing from any culture or belief system. Sound familiar? It should, because this is exactly how early programmers approached coding. They were pragmatists, borrowing from mathematics, linguistics, and philosophy to create something entirely new, digital worlds from pure thought. Programming language appears in chaos magic literature as early as 1981, showing just how quickly these communities recognized their shared DNA. But this wasn't just metaphorical. Chaos magicians were literally using programming concepts in their spells. Think about Wonder Vision for a moment. Wanda's chaos magic doesn't follow traditional spell structures. Instead, she rewrites reality through pure willpower and intent, like she's debugging the universe's source code. This is precisely how chaos magicians viewed their craft. Common discussions in chaos magic forums about using computer coding for creation of sigils and familiar spirits, described as AIs with if this then that programming. These practitioners saw spells as programs running on reality's operating system. A sigil, a magical symbol designed to manifest desires, was essentially a piece of code uploaded to the universe. Consider how this mirrors our relationship with AI today. When we prompt ChatGPT or create interactive fiction, we're using language to generate reality. The chaos magicians of the 1980s recognized this pattern decades before it became mainstream. The connection goes deeper than philosophy. Mark Pessier asserted that early Silicon Valley cyberspace coders adopted pagan religious views, and his work with VRML involved structuring cyberspace according to techno-pagan and occult concepts. Virtual reality modeling language wasn't just code, it was a way of building digital spaces that reflected mystical worldviews. This brings us to Black Mirror's Bandersnatch, where viewer choices control the narrative's reality. The interactive episode perfectly captures how these early programmers saw their work. Every decision branch, every conditional statement was a way of channeling will through digital medium to create new worlds. Westworld takes this concept even further. The show's premise that consciousness can be programmed mirrors chaos magic's core belief that reality itself is programmable. Both chaos magicians and early AI researchers were asking the same fundamental question. If consciousness shapes reality, can we hack consciousness to reshape reality? Ready Player One's Oasis represents the ultimate expression of what chaos magicians called paradigm shifting, the ability to adopt different reality frameworks at will. James Halliday didn't just create a game, he created a universe with its own physics, economics, and social structures. This is world building on a scale that would make ancient gods jealous. Both computer science and occult science depend on understanding secret language, personal illumination through books, and belong to societies of initiates seen as wielding esoteric knowledge. The parallel is striking. Both hackers and magicians were outsiders who gained power through mastering hidden languages. Early programming communities had all the hallmarks of magical orders. They had secret knowledge or code, initiation rituals, learning to program, and the power to create reality from pure thought. The term wizard for expert programmers wasn't chosen randomly. It reflected a genuine sense that these individuals possessed supernatural abilities. From early days of personal computers, they were used as metaphor for esoteric reality, resembling Renaissance Hermetic universe, with structural similarities between magic and programming. This wasn't just poetic license. Programmers genuinely experienced their work as magical. Think about it. You sit before a screen, type abstract symbols, and entire worlds spring into existence. NPCs live and die by your commands. Physics obey your rules. Time moves at your discretion. If that's not magic, what is? Modern game development makes this even more explicit. When a programmer creates an NPC with artificial intelligence, they're essentially creating a digital familiar, a spirit that exists solely to serve the creator's will. The terminology we use, spawning characters, casting to different data types, executing commands, is loaded with magical connotations. As we stand on the brink of artificial general intelligence, these early insights become prophetic. The chaos magicians who saw programming as spellcraft weren't being whimsical. They were recognizing something fundamental about the nature of consciousness, reality, and creation. Every time you interact with an AI, you're engaging in a form of digital divination. Every algorithm that shapes your social media feed is a form of technological tarot, revealing patterns in the vast sea of human behavior. Every line of code that automates some aspect of our world is a spell making the invisible visible, the impossible routine. The next time you watch Doctor Strange manipulate reality with chaos magic, remember that somewhere a programmer is doing something remarkably similar. They're typing symbols that will reshape digital worlds, create artificial minds, and influence the behavior of millions of people. The tools have evolved, but the fundamental act remains the same. Using focused will and esoteric knowledge to transform raw potential into manifest reality. The early programmers who saw themselves as digital sorcerers weren't delusional. They were pioneers, recognizing the true nature of what they were creating. In giving individuals the power to create worlds with code, the personal computer revolution didn't just change technology, it democratized magic itself.